What's up YouTube, this is Jabber Tech, and today we're just going to discuss the differences, and I mean the physical differences between the Huawei Watch 2 Classic and the Huawei Watch 2 Sport, just because I get this question asked a lot, and I wanted to make a video just to help you guys decide on which one you would like to purchase. Both of these smartwatches are just about 1 year old, and that doesn't mean that they should be forgotten. They both have come down considerably in terms of price, and you can find some great deals on these watches. So I just wanted to discuss the differences between the Huawei Watch 2 Classic and the Sport Edition. If you would like to see the full review, I'll leave a link in the description below, as well as this card that just popped up. But basically, both of these watches are identical in terms of their insides. And they both have the ceramic bezel, which is pretty important for scratch resistance, and I have installed tempered glass on both of these, so that's pretty much the ultimate in terms of protection and scratch resistance. Let's just go over the main differences between both of these watches, and I hope I can help you guys make a decision. If you have any questions about them, definitely leave it in the comments below, and I'll answer them as quickly as I can. And I'm just going to refer to these as the Classic and the Sport, just to make things a little simpler. Looking at the difference, the first thing that you notice is the bezel. You'll see that the bezel on this one definitely is a little wider than the bezel on the Sport Edition. You'll also notice that the numbers that go around the bezel are in 10-minute intervals versus the 5-minute intervals on the Sport. Both of these bezels do not rotate, they do not move. Let's just go over the Classic right now. And the band on the Huawei Watch 2 Classic is really nice. It's a hybrid style band, so you have this silicone material on the back, and then you have the nice genuine leather on the top. Those of you that wear leather watch bands, you know that the sweat really discolors the leather and makes it look pretty old and worn after a while. With this hybrid style, in theory, it will preserve your watch band a little bit longer. You'll also notice that the lug size is standard 22mm. Comparing the band from the Classic to the Sport, you'll see that the Sport is definitely cheaper. This is just a flexible silicone, and this watch band, to be honest with you guys, is really not that comfortable. I do not like this band at all. It feels really cheap. I like the design choice overall of the band, kind of blending it into the actual watch. I really do like that. But in terms of quality and comfort, this band is not the best. This does not move at all. It's very, very rigid, so that does not help in the overall comfort level. And the lug size on the Sport Edition is 20mm. You can find 20mm bands quite easily, but I don't know why they chose a little smaller design. But either way, both of these offer quick release pins on the band, so you can change them out no matter what. Also notice that the materials used on both of these watches are completely different, whereas the Classic one is pretty much all metal, and the Sport Edition is pretty much all plastic. You can feel the difference between the materials. The Classic is a lot heavier, feels a lot more substantial, whereas the Gear Sport feels very light and actually feels very cheap. Feels like one of those old school Casio cheap digital watches that you used to wear. I completely understand why the Sport is plastic and lighter and the Classic is metal and heavier. It also goes to that design choice. One is a classic wristwatch and one is designed to be used for sport. Both of them, the buttons feel very responsive, and I have not had any issues with these buttons. Speaker on both of these watches is exactly the same. No one had any issues hearing me, and I heard them just fine in quieter environments. Not to mention, nobody really knew I was talking to them on my wrist, so that's a plus as well. Both of these watches are running the latest Android Wear OS 1.0, and in terms of battery life, they both are exactly the same, but since the latest update got pushed, my battery life has suffered a little bit, so I lost about half a day. I'm definitely getting 1.5 to 2 days now, where I used to get a little more than 2 days. And again, I'll leave a link to my full review so you can check them out. This video is mainly just to show you the differences between the Sport and the Classic, so you can get an idea of what you'd want to get. Since I have been asked this question a lot, what I will say is, if you're not an active person, meaning you do not go to the gym, you do not run, you do not do activities, I would definitely go for the Classic Edition. It's just an overall better looking smartwatch in my opinion, and it can be used in everyday usage as well, even if you did the light exercise here and there. But if you're someone that is active and run a lot or do a lot of activities, hiking or whatnot, go for the Sport. I think the Sport is definitely well suited for its name, just because it is a tad lighter, it is easier to have on the wrist during activities, it does not get in the way, and it offers you the same great features that the Classic does, and vice versa. They're both about the same in terms of style. I'll show you one on the wrist. This is what the Sport looks like. And then this is what the Classic looks like. You won't go wrong with either one of these. Definitely the best Android Wear watch on the market right now. And let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did this help you make your decision? If you have any questions about either one of them, I will respond. I have no problems helping you guys decide. And again, if you want to check out the full review, I'll leave a link in the description below. And thanks for watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.